Hello, Trailblazers. I believe we are live. I'm super excited to be here with you for another training. Today's training is all about the top 5 priorities when starting your soul aligned coaching business. So, I'm so excited that you're here with me because I know that so many of us women, you all included, everybody who is watching this, either watching it live or on the replay, I know that you have been tapped on the shoulder. Your soul's door has been knocked at so that you can come forward, so that you can step forward into your bigness, into your big vision, into your big mission, to make a positive impact in this world. I speak to so many women every single day who have felt that tug, have felt that nudge, and it's not within the traditional realm of what we're seeing, I would say, in mainstream, right? It's like, yes, I was just talking with someone today, beautiful soul here in New York. And I was just talking to her today, and she said, I have been learning about finances. I have been going through this course in finances, and I want to bring astrology into it so that we can align with what is going on astrologically, universally, right? Within the stars into our finances and make more solid decisions for ourselves. Like, mwah, beautiful, beautiful soul, beautiful vision. And this is what I'm talking about. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Going against the norm, trying to bring two things together that have not been brought together. And maybe you're feeling some resistance. Maybe you're feeling like, is this possible? Put a yes in the comments or put, I am a visionary, because that's what you are. If you have an idea, right? When you have an idea, not if, let's identify this. When you have an idea that you do not see happening anywhere else, that means this was dropped into you like a little gift, right? Into your soul of saying, this is what's possible, and this is what you're here to create. So who's with me? Who is with me for creating something that hasn't been seen before, or maybe is just starting to be seen, right? You have all of these ideas and you are wondering, where in the fuck do I start? If you do not know me, if you are new, I know that we have so many new members here at the Women on the Rise group. So I do swear, just if you didn't pick up on that yet, I try to keep it to an awareness, right? When I really just want to make a point. Using it strategically, or when I'm really passionate. But I know that's how so many of you have found us, and so many new Women on the Rise are here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you with us at the Women on the Rise. What we are here for we are visionary women. We want to make an impact in this world, and some of us might have some, what do I want to say, lack of clarity. Some may be on this journey of just like, no, I'm clear, but just now, how do I bring that into fruition? How do I bring it into reality? So we're in different spaces, but we do have the same vision and the same mission to make an impact in the world that is different than the way it is now. Put a yes in the comments if that is you. Again, whether you're here live or watching the replay, you can still engage. We still reach out to you. So Pilar and I welcome you to the Women on the Rise group and the Institute for Female Trailblazers, which is my business. And we are here to support you in your journey to finding your life purpose and to living in that life purpose so that you can create the legacy that your soul was meant to create. So without further ado, something else that I want to drop in there is that if you are here watching live, please let us know if you want the Soul Aligned Coaching Blueprint Starter Checklist. Put blueprint please in the comments and we'll be sure to send that right over to you. So it really is this breakdown of because we do have that lack of clarity oftentimes, right? When we're looking at this, because our vision can be so big and often is so big, right? It's this huge vision. And then you sort of get lost in the strategy of where do I start? How do I start? What is the first step in this, right? I know that's how I was. I had a million different ideas. That's how most of the women come to me, a million different ideas. They either come to me where they're like completely lost, right? That would be in my first program where we're like looking at the legacy foundation and really understanding what your life purpose is. So that's the first program. But then the second program that we have is for the legacy builders who do have that clarity and are ready to then create their soul aligned coaching business. And that is their clarity. So, anyways, this is good for both. This checklist is good for both of you, wherever you may be on your journey. And being able to really understand what that looks like and how to carry it out. But like I was saying, I know for me, I had 1,000 different ideas coming to me all at once. Anybody relate to that? Put a yes in the comments. Put a hands up in the comments. I know I'm not the only one. Many of us visionary, that is what we do struggle with. We have a lot of really big ideas, and it's hard to break it down. And sometimes we find it difficult to see what step to take first. Okay, so this is why I created this training. This is why I created the blueprint starter checklist for you to have, so that you can have that clarity. Because what we want here at the Institute for Female Trailblazers, and if you don't know, that is the business that is connected to the Women on the Rise group, and what we want is for every single woman to live in full alignment with their life's purpose, to be creating an impact and profit that is going to impact not only their lives, their families' lives, the community, and the world, right? So are you here for it? Are you here for it? Put a yes in the comments, or put a I'm here for it. So that's what we're here to do, and that's what each of these trainings are here for. Every single week we will have a different training. Please let us know if there's anything specific that you're looking for. I know that all of you who have joined the Women on the Rise so far, I or Pilar have reached out to you to connect with you and to see what kind of support you need, because truly that is what we're here for. So let's dive into this. We are looking at, and again, if you do want that checklist, just put blueprint or checklist in the comments and we'll be sure to message you and send that right over. So let's start looking at this, right? The top 5 priorities when starting your soul aligned coaching business. The first and foremost is, which many of us breeze right past. Okay, we don't even think about it oftentimes. I know I didn't put it like this in my mind, but the first thing that we have to do, now I'll explain why we have to do this too. The first thing that we have to do is to clarify your divine life purpose. We need to make sure that it is completely aligned with our authentic self, our spirit, right? With our authentic life purpose. And let me explain that. So much of our life is spent on autopilot, right? We are just doing out of the shoulds of society, of our family, of, well, I guess I'm supposed to start this career and I have to make sure that we're stable, and like whatever that may be, okay? We are working from conditioning of society, of family, of friends, of just the system in general. And we often tend to maybe have a little glimpse of what our authentic life purpose is, but then we jump right to strategy. Okay, we go right into, well, how am I going to do this? Can I do this? And then before we know it, we're either down a different path because it's more logical, but it doesn't truly align with your authentic life purpose, or we just give up altogether because we have then deemed it as impossible, which we will be talking about in the second step. Okay, so the first step is really about clarifying your divine, your authentic life purpose. Before you even build a business, you are going to want to deeply know who you are, what you're here for, what your spiritual gifts are, what your purpose is, what legacy you're meant to live. This in itself is the sacred initiation, right? Deep reflection, awarenesses of how we're working from our conditioned self, because it can sound so plausible and realistic that we miss it. So being able to recognize, right, we have to find and align with our authentic self, release all of the shoulds, release all of the life that was prescribed to us, and start diving into what is that for me? What is my passion? What are my gifts, right, to bring into this world? And there's often a golden thread that we weave through all of that. And our conditioned self comes rearing up, and that's a whole nother story for another day, a whole nother training for another day. We've done trainings around authentic living. I think it was just in this past couple of weeks, so you might be able to still catch them. But that's the first and foremost, because here's the thing. When we start building from a place of conditioning, of more of the logic rather than the spirit, more of the mind rather than the soul, we're actually building on a very unstable foundation, okay? So we're building from the place of shoulds and what's logical rather than what inspires us. And that is not sustainable. If we do that, which I have done a few times before, well, what's logical? This is what fits. This is what my next, logical step is. I'm a therapist. I'm working in the corporate world. I do want to start another business. The only next logical step is to build my private practice. So that is what I did, right? That is what I did for a couple, and it lasted a couple years. And then it was like, nope, not this. Okay. So we want to be sure that we're building from our true, authentic purpose and mission in life, not just the next logical step, because we will circle right back to feeling unfulfilled, frustrated with ourselves, doubting ourselves. Okay. So that's number one. Being able to clarify your authentic, your divine life purpose. Number two, and how many of you do feel like you have done that, right? Like you truly know, like, yes, I am solid. I know, I know this in the comments, or like, I already know my life's purpose. I know it to my core, to my soul. But this is really truly about just like letting go of logic and allowing yourself to dream and tap into that passion and that purpose. So the second, once you have that, you have a strong foundation, right? Everything is built on a strong foundation, and we're building with really sturdy lumber, right? Then we want to start really creating our house, but we wanted that strong foundation to build upon, or else again, it's going to crumble. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be looping, okay? The second, and you're not going to be living in your life's purpose, which is a detriment to yourself, your family, and the world. So let's just put that out there too. So the second priority when you're starting your soul-aligned coaching business is to heal the inner blocks that keep you playing small. Heal the inner blocks that keep you playing small. I have spoken with thousands and thousands and thousands of powerhouse women, okay? Throughout my career, throughout my 20-year career, almost 20, it'll be 20 next year. So 19-year career. Spoken with thousands and thousands of powerhouse women, and the way that we see ourselves is so skewed, right? I have worked with scientists who are working with neuroscience and AI, truly, right, at big companies, and they see themselves as less than. We know about imposter syndrome. You actually get small. There's tons of studies on this, right? And so being able to, first of all, identify that we have these inner blocks that actually, right, society no longer has to keep us small. Our family no longer has to keep us small. Not that they were doing it on purpose, but it's just, we were picking up on their limiting beliefs. And then we took those on. And then we just start functioning from that as if they're our norm. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So instead of so then we want to recognize where we are playing small, what belief systems we have. And I have seen too many of us women playing small and not even realizing it. So you have to first bring it to self-awareness, and then be able to create your business from there. And this is really powerful when we can do this. Actually, it's like, and then it's simultaneously, right? Let me back up for a second. It's like, no, we don't have to stop and do all of this healing. We're actually healing as we're expanding, right? So it's looking at those things that are keeping us playing small. And again, they can look at like very rational and reasonable, like I don't have time, I have small kids, I want to focus my attention here. Those are all limiting beliefs, keeping you playing small. I'm not as smart as, I'm not as good as, right? The comparison, all sorts of stuff. There's perfectionism, right? There's all ways that we love to self-sabotage. So in healing those, our business really can't outgrow our self-concept. Okay, so our business stays in alignment with our limiting beliefs if we have any. So in our belief system, and let me just take out the limiting. Our business cannot expand outside of our belief system if we don't allow it to, if we're not challenging our belief systems. There's so many times, and I actually did a post of this maybe last week or the week before, where it's like we have this belief that we have to sacrifice one for the other. We have to either be a business owner or be a mother, and it's like we're both, but not in the old sense where we're like holding it all and it's like really, really overwhelming. We're creating a space where we're all of it, and it's with ease, and it's with breath, and it's with inspiration. Okay, so anyways, I point that out because that is an inner block keeping you small, is that I have to choose one or the over the other. I have to sacrifice. I have to do this. The only thing that you really have to sacrifice are your limiting beliefs. Okay, so your business can't outgrow your self-concept. So each time we are able to heal those inner blocks, we are able to expand further and further and further. And how do we do this? We do this by a lot of somatic practices, shadow work, worthiness rituals, right? Mindset, identifying your mindset saboteurs for soul-led women, identifying those fears of visibility, identifying the perfectionism, right? Where are these coming from? We really get to the core of those fears and the inner blocks so that we can disrupt them and we can shift them into reality, into what is true, is that like anything is truly possible. And when I look around, just like everything that is around us, it was only once thought of. It was once somebody's idea that came to reality. Like I'm looking at all my lights, right? I'm looking at the computer, or I sometimes talk about when somebody brings up like, well, that's already been done, or there's already so many coaches. I'm like, there's also a lot of nail salons, there's also a lot of restaurants, there's also like a lot of doctors. I mean, does that stop people from becoming doctors? No. Like, well, maybe it does, hopefully not. If that's their passion and their purpose, hopefully not, because we need them where their mission and their purpose is, just like all of us, right? So being able to not only hit the mindset and start challenging those as a psychotherapist, that is what I am so great at, is like really tuning in and challenging it in a very loving way, having some healing on the inner child, right? And being able to also use somatic practices, recognizing the shadow work, and challenging some of those worthiness beliefs. So we tune into we root ourselves into self-trust, or we root into self-trust and this like magnetic confidence when we heal these inner blocks. So I guess, how many people thought of this when you're talking about when you decided to come here for the top priorities when starting your soul aligned coaching business? Is this what you expected, right? First, you have to have clarity. Maybe that's clarity of your life purpose. Then the second one is to heal. We heal the inner blocks and keeping us playing small, because I'm telling you, ladies, there are so many ways that we can hold ourselves back that just sneak right up on us. So how many people in here have done some healing already, right? Put a yes in the comments, or put I have gone through healing, or maybe you're currently going through the healing, right? We're all in process, and there's not just like, oh, I've healed and I'm done. Like there are layers upon layers, and to me, that's not like there are layers upon layers and I'm always going to be healing. It's like, yay, I get to continue to recognize what's holding me back, heal that, and keep moving. Like, how cool is that? Of course I want to be a lifelong learner. I want to expand all the time. I do. It's fun. Let me take away fun, because sometimes it's real painful, right? And what I know is that there is even more joy on the other side of that. So who wants more joy in their lives? Put that in the comments. More joy, please. More joy here. I am ordering some more joy. Um, the third priority in creating your soul aligned coaching business is to truly, and I'm speaking to all of the women here, embody your feminine leadership and coaching identity. Embody it, not just think about it, embody your feminine leadership and coaching identity. Too many of us do not see ourselves clearly. We have been conditioned to step back, to be humble, and again, humility is again, it's important to recognize that we are all in this together and that you have a divine part in this transformation in people's lives, in the world, right? Like it's both. But we often, again, 75% of us struggle with imposter syndrome compared to 24% of men who struggle with imposter syndrome. Isn't that some bullshit? All right, so this is another reason why I do what I do, so that we can uncover how you're holding yourself back, because nobody is really, hopefully, putting a hand on your chest and being like, no. Oftentimes, and again, if that is the case, I'm so sorry. And like, this is, let's look at what we can do to move out of that situation, but truly looking at like, how do we hold ourselves back, because we do it day in and day out without even awareness. So this is about embodying. This is about really becoming the leader that you are meant to be and that you were created to be. Actually, that's what it's called, an identity, right? Like you're moving from one identity to another. There are different identities that we shift when we're professionals and when we move into business and entrepreneurship and all of that. That's within my program as well, as the Legacy Builders, as we're building our coaching program. But like your power in here, and when I talk about like embodying your feminine leadership, your power isn't about doing more. And this is what I was talking about in the previous one. Which one? Of like doing more, like it's not going to be overwhelming. Like this isn't about doing more. Yeah, I was talking about it just a minute ago. And the second, in step 2, is the limiting beliefs of like, we have to do it all from a sense of just like, and contraction and heaviness, rather than we get to do it all and we get to do it in a different way. Okay. Your power isn't in doing more. It's about being more you. Okay. Being more you. That's why number 1 is so important. Who is your authentic self? How is your authentic self? How do you connect with your authentic self? So this is really about embodying that, about seeing yourself clearly, so we can take off all the masks. We can take off all of the limiting beliefs. We can break through those, right, at this level. And we are able to develop the skills and the energetic presence, right? This is why I integrate energy work into everything that I do. We have energy sessions monthly, right? It's so important to align our energy and our energetic presence to be able to hold the success, to be able to hold the space for your expansion. So this is about developing those skills and energetic presence to lead, to coach, to guide others in the most authentic and compassionate way. Okay, so that's in number 3, is embodying your feminine leadership and your coaching identity. So this is really more about like practicing, like you're speaking from alignment, from trusting your intuition, being seen in your wholeness, showing up fully and authentically, right? And being able to speak, live your life out loud, to speak your truth, right? And we hold ourselves back because maybe in the past it wasn't safe, but now we align with that and we speak proudly and we speak loudly, right? So embodying your feminine leadership, I want you to take a moment right now and just check in with how you're holding your body, right? Many of us sit like this, chins jutted out, we're slouched, right? We have our shoulders down, or maybe they're up because we're stressed, right? And just take a moment to sit up straight, to bring your shoulders up towards your ears, roll your shoulder blades back and down, open up the heart. We lead from heart as female leaders, right? We lead from heart. We lead from inspiration. Okay, I want you to put that in the comments. I lead from heart, or I lead from inspiration. So this is practice speaking from alignment, trusting your intuition, being seen in your wholeness. That's number 3. Number 4 priority when starting your soul aligned coaching business. Now we're getting into some of the tactics. You want to create a soul aligned offering rooted in service and truth, right? So your soul aligned offering, your soul aligned program, your soul aligned services that are rooted in your service and your truth, right? Your first offer, just so you know, it's not about money. This is really about magnetizing your mission into form. This was something I remember my very first program, which we still have, the Legacy Foundation. It used to be called the Next Level Life Purpose. And as I expanded, as I embraced my personal power, I was like, it's so much bigger than just your next level life purpose. This is about creating a legacy, right? So that's why I created that and shifted it to Legacy Foundation. It was about seeing my healing in form, my path, my healing from my professional experience as a psychotherapist, as well as an executive director and creating clinical programs for healing. That's what I did for other huge like treatment companies and treatment facilities and stuff, was creating clinical programs for healing. So being able to see my program, that like my transformation that I went through in form, and then seeing the women go through it and see their transformation, that my friends, I have women in the program right now that are getting so many messages and spreading so much joy about events that they're hosting and holding and journals that they're creating, and to see this traction like that, oh my gosh, right? This is the truth. This is empowerment, right? So this offer that you're creating, your service that you're putting out into the world, this is your mission. This is your soul's mission. So let your signature offer arise from your lived wisdom and your healing journey, right? That's the service and that's the truth. And that's what I was explaining, right? It's just like all of the different, when I stepped back and I looked at my healing process and those who I've led other women through prior, as a psychotherapist, being able to really pinpoint, oh my gosh, these are the main factors that really led me to my authentic self, to be able to speak my truth, to be able to stand in my truth, and be able to align with my mission. So that's what you're looking at on your journey, what has helped you, your lived wisdom, your journey, and this is where your soul aligned program and offer is created. And then you infuse it with the sacred tools, the transformational outcomes, the soul level intention, right? This isn't just tactics. We want to also create from, again, first and foremost, soul and inspiration. Okay? So, who already has an offer? Who has a program? But I have a program. I would love to connect with you and learn more about your program. I'm actually meeting with somebody right after this to learn about their programs that they've created. I just love it. And this is what we're here for, to lift each other up, to root each other on, right? Like to cheer each other on. So that's number 4. So if you have a program, beautiful, 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 right? Now, if it's not out there, then I would go back to, if you're like, yes, I have the program. It's been in my journal. I have it on paper. I have all this stuff, and it's still not out there to the public, or it's, you're sort of holding on to it. I would go back to number 2, healing the inner blocks of playing small. There's something in there for you. And then the final priority, right? You would think that, so most people would think that this might be one of the first, right? But your final priority when starting your soul aligned coaching business is to build a simple, sacred system to support your mission. So, structure isn't the opposite of flow, right? When we hear about structure, I know for me, anyways, and some of you might be a little different, but when I was coming out of corporate, I was a little scorned by corporate. I was like, oh, I don't want to listen to anybody. Like, I don't want to have structure. I just want to go by my inspiration. I just want to flow. I just want to, like, I did not want, a holistic CEO schedule. I did not want, anybody to tell me, including myself, to tell me what to do, or that I needed to do a spreadsheet or anything like that, because that's what I was doing for the last few years of my career, right? As an executive director, tons of spreadsheets. I hate them. Anyways, anybody else with me? Put a yes in the comments. But here's the thing: is that retraining my brain and healing, right? Some of those past hurts and experiences from corporate. That actually, like, I was moving away from structure, but we need structure, right? Structure is not the opposite of flow. Structure is actually the container that allows your magic to expand, right? It creates the safety for you to bump around in it and to play and to expand with this structure, with this container, right? And just start small. A clear message, maybe like some soulful marketing, a simple like visibility strategies, even like a repost from somebody else and just a little comment. Like, start small. These are the systems meant to create like support for your system, or for your mission. And also making sure, like, build around your energy. Okay, I tell people this: it's like, fuck the algorithms, they're changing all the time anyways. Yes, can they be helpful in some moments? Yes, it's helpful to know what is going on in the algorithms, what's going on in the meta world, what's going on in the TikTok world, in LinkedIn and stuff like that, whatever your platform is. But we do not allow that to define how we show up. We build that around our energy, not hustle. Okay, so being in tune with aligning your calendar, aligning your communication, aligning your commitments with your true rhythm. I have a colleague who, I just learned about this more recently about her, I would say in the past couple of months. So a friend, we have done an event together. It was a beautiful big event together. And I was just like, hey, I can't make it this week. We were trying to match up. We were trying to reconnect after she was gone for a little while. And I said, what about next week? She's like, next week is my moon phase. I do not meet anyone during that time because that is a time for me to reflect. And I was like, that is fucking beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. She has built a simple, sacred system to support her mission around her rhythm. This is what we get to do, right? So, who's with me? Who wants to create their own system, right? And create it around what they like, their energy and their support and their rhythms and their cycles, right? Like different cycles. I think of like the cycles of the seasons, right? During your seasons, being able to honor that. And that is something that we get to do when we create our soul aligned business. So, just to recap, 5 priorities when starting your soul aligned coaching business. The first is to clarify your authentic life purpose. The second is to heal the inner blocks that keep you playing small. And ladies, do not be fooled. You will do this again and again and again. Get excited about it. Know that you're up leveling. Know that you're shedding. Know that you are creating more clarity when you have these inner blocks to break down. It's okay. All right. Number 3 is to embody your feminine leadership and coaching identity, shifting into that, seeing yourself as the leader that you are. The 4th is to create. Now we're getting into the actual creation, to create your soul aligned offer rooted in service and your truth. And the 5th is to build a simple sacred system to support your mission. Okay. So those are the 5 priorities when starting your soul aligned coaching business. Again, if you want the soul aligned coaching blueprint starter checklist, maybe there's a different way to say that so I can condense those words so it's not so long. Please put that in the comments. Put starter checklist or blueprint in the comments, and we will be sure to get that over to you. we have a lot of fun events coming up. We do have our Trailblazers Blaze and Sip, and it's all about networking. It's all about meeting each other this time. So that is happening virtually on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You do have to register because it is Zoom. It is not here, it is Zoom. So we'll be sure to pop that in the chat here. Make sure that you sign up for it so that we see you there and you can talk about your soul aligned business, your holistic business. With the other women here, the other almost 2,000 women here. So that is coming up. We also, just so you know, on Monday, registration is going to be open for our 5 days to create your soul aligned coaching business. So be on the lookout for that. And we have more goodies. Oh my gosh, if you're here locally in Buffalo or the surrounding areas, I have paired up with Lana Shapiro, and we are hosting a retreat December 5th. So it's the Winter Empress Retreat, and this is a beautiful time to be able to nurture yourself, to prepare for all of the holidays. It's right in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is mwah, beautiful to nurture yourself, to come back home to yourself, to fill your cup with all these amazing experiences and surround yourself with women and peace and tranquility of Zen on the River, because this place is absolutely gorgeous. So we'll have all of those. If you want, you can go into the link in my bio and look at that. I'll be sure to post all of the information for those. So thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, mwah. Keep on blazing trails, ladies. Okay? Keep it up, because we need you. The world needs you. So live your legacy, change the world.